Welcome to the Sales Leader of Influence show. For sales leaders who lead with soul, spirit, and spine. In a world obsessed with tactics, this is the show for those who know leadership is personal. And here's your host, Bernadette McClelland.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Sales Leader of Influence show. And I am calling in this week from Vegas, where I have spent the past couple of days at the IMEX show here in Vegas. And this is the world's largest meeting for event professionals. So event organizers, conference organizers, destination events. It's like, I think 15 to 20,000 people are here, which is absolutely amazing. And myself and my colleagues through the bureau, the unique speaker bureau that I'm part of, I was able to speak in front of meeting bookers the other day, which was a fantastic experience. I spoke on my signature keynote topic, which is deliberate disruption. Because if we are not deliberately disrupting and if we're not reinventing the way that we think, feel, and act, then something or someone will do it to us or for us. And in today's environment, this is critical. So not only did I speak, but also yesterday I emceed for some of my colleagues in the Inspiration Hub. And so we have had a number of wonderful meetings, a number of wonderful conversations with people here, with leaders inside the industry, and outside the industry as well. And look, there is a real common theme. And I want to share a couple of these with you today. I've kind of packaged today into 3 key principles and share them with you. And how I've packaged them is, I guess, looking at the truth of what really matters today. And that is true colors, true north, and true grit. So they are the 3 principles that I want to share with you today. But the overarching theme that came through with all the conversations was connection. And that is that so many people today are really craving connection with each other, and within themselves. And this is fascinating conversations. So let me share with you some of my thoughts around these topics with you, and so how it can relate to you as sales leaders. And I know that for those of you that listen to me, you know that I share parts of my journey, and I also am quite open with the journey I'm on now, which is we're all evolving, and we're all evolving into better versions of who we can be. And so I view the episodes in this show as a real co-creation. So, you guys are helping me by listening or by watching on the lives, and I believe that I'm kind of here to serve and help you as well with some of my ideas. Some of them may resonate, some may not, but that's not the point. The point is that we're sharing ideas together. So the first, bucket, or the first principle that I want to share with you is around true colors. Now, we know the wonderful Cyndi Lauper sang the song True Colors, and that really relates to who we are. And who are we? And who are we without our titles? And who are we without our jobs? And who are we without our children? And who are we? At the core, who are we? And so that is something that, is definitely worth thinking about, because out there today, people are losing their jobs, businesses are going under. And, I've shared that we lost our business and went bankrupt. And so whilst my recovery was more physical, my husband's recovery was very identity-based, being the provider and protector. So our identity really comes into play today. And so I think what's key is also, how do we picture who it is that we want to become? And you hear me talk about this a lot because it is very, in my mind, it's very important, because we can't control what's going on out there at the moment, and there's a lot going on, and we can't control that, but we can control what we can. Well, I don't even like the word control, because I think we've been controlled all our life. So I don't like the word control. But there is a kind of like a space where we can choose how we show up. And so how is it that we want to show up as a leader to start with our team, with our business? And is there a future version of you that perhaps you want to step into? And I think back to when I first went into sales, and so this came up in the past couple of days. People said, "Hey, how did you bounce back from bankruptcy?" Well, first we didn't bounce back. Who wants to bounce back to a bankruptcy? We didn't bounce back at all. In my view, we don't even step forward because there is no linear. We're not in a linear world anymore at all either. I go up. And so it's like, well, how do you go up? And all these things happen. How did you come to America just like that? In your 60s, what made you just kind of sell everything and just kind of move over? So how do you do these things? And so I look back to when I started in sales, and I was told that I didn't have what it took. This is back in the 80s at Xerox, because I was too nice and not aggressive enough. Well, I look back at that version of me and I think, oh my gosh, where she has come from there, and how has she gone from there to being, the Asia Pacific master coach for Anthony Robbins, to being a Harvard sales coach for Harvard MBA students where she's never been to university. How did she get the Einstein visa, or the Einstein US visa, the same one the Pulitzer Prize winner gets? How did this version of Bernadette get to where she is today, sitting in Vegas after speaking at the IMAX event, one of two, Frankfurt and Vegas, the largest in the world? How did she get there? And it's not that there's anything special about me at all, because I am like you and you are like me. It's because I can visualize a future version of me. And I'm able to bring that version of me into the present and become that version. Now, is that in all cases my fitness? No. But if I choose to, yes. So this is where I'm coming from. It's like our identity. What are our true colors? Because this forms such a huge part of how we can choose to navigate uncertainty out there in the market today. So what I would like you to consider is to elevate your visibility of yourself. So that's point number one. The second point is true north. So when we think about true north, we can think about purpose, but we can also think about intentionality. And so when we think about intentionality, I don't just mean what's your plans or what's your intentions. I mean, how do you calibrate your focus? Like, what is the intention of what you are doing? What is your decision-making strategies around what you are doing? It's interesting because I share that when we did go bankrupt, my son said to me, it'll work out in the end. And if it doesn't work out, it's not the end. And what he inadvertently did was provided a space where I was able to recalibrate, basically, and created this vision in my mind of this gap as like a gift. On one end, there was, collapse, and the other end was choice. And so there's polarities. And so we are, all of us, standing in the gap, whether we like it or not, whether we like to admit it or not. And so when it comes to our decision making, or our intentionality, so many of us are waiting for things to go back to normal, back to where we wanted them to be, or where they used to be, or where we used to be. When in actual fact, inside that circumstance or inside that situation, there is an opportunity for you to actually evolve or shift or move to a different opportunity or paradigm or reality or whatever or frequency or whatever term you want to use. And what is stopping us from doing that is a simple word called waiting. And waiting is what is costing us. And this is one of my big ahas, is like, gosh, what's costing me is waiting. Now, I could have waited to have done this episode with you today. And for those watching, my nail polish is completely chipped. It's like I don't have any fresh nail polish. My hair's not looking as good as I'd like it to be. And that would have stopped me from sharing this with you. I've got no notes with me. This is all me ad-libbing. And I could have just waited and potentially missed an opportunity to share something from me to you. And so this is happening out there in the marketplace all the time, whether it's with your prospecting, whether it's with your accountability, with your team, whatever it is, it's your waiting. So what is your intentionality? What is your true north as a leader? And then the third area is true grit. Well, come on, we need true grit, and we know what true grit is all about. And today, it's not just pushing through. It's not about pushing at all. It's about creating an environment where you can pull in, where you can invite in. And we are in a world where it's all about get, have. But now, if you can shift your thinking to really providing service and knowing you're providing value, but creating an opportunity for that service or that value to be the opening for you to invite the opportunity in. And this is where the magic is. And so in order to do that, when things may not be going right for you, your ladder may not be on the right wall. Anybody who knows me knows that over the past 12 months, I have evolved and iterated, and I have tweaked, and I have done all of these things because I couldn't quite find my grip. Am I there yet? I don't know, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I've got momentum. And momentum is the opposite of waiting. And so iteration and true grit go hand in hand, because you need that true grit. You need that resilience. You need that resourcefulness. You need to forget about what you think people think. My gosh, like, someone said, oh, she's changing her mind again. It's like, what are people going to think about me? I don't care, because I know that I'm serving the right people at the right time, and it's filling my cup. So I want you to realize that influence, being a sales leader of influence, is less about you worrying or being visible to other people, or look at me. It's all about you looking at you. That's where influence starts, because you cannot influence other people if you do not know what influences you. So I wanted to share that with you today. I did something yesterday. I actually did something that wasn't congruent with me. And I did it because I felt I had to, because someone else did it and I did it too. And I went away and I thought about it, and I went back to the gentleman and I said, you know what? I've just done something and it doesn't feel right. And I said, so I want to rescind what I've just given you. And he smiled at me, and there was a connection. And I said, I should have just listened to me. And that was a lesson for me. So I want, whatever I've shared today, I hope that when we look at your true colors and the identity part and the bringing in the future you, when we look at your true north and we look at the fact of waiting and decisions and intentionality, and then we look at true grit, and we look at you just being okay with evolving and iterating and experimenting. And who says making mistakes? There's no mistakes. Like, you just do. And all of that, they come together and they help you evolve. And it's not changing, it's you expanding your influence. So I hope that that helps you today. I'm just about to go and check out, and I will be back in Denver later today, and I look forward to seeing you this time next week. If you want to reach out to me, if you have a team that you would love for me to come and share my message on deliberate disruption, or if you would like me to come and share my work and my new program on C-suite sales, definitely give me a call. Or if you're a leader and you want to speak to me about your own leadership, definitely give me a call. So I will speak to you this time next week. Have a great week, and bye for now.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching the Sales Leader of Influence show with your host, Bernadette McClelland. See you next Wednesday live at 5 o'clock Eastern.